పిటిషన్పై సుప్రీంకోర్టులో విచారణ ప్రారంభమైంది. ఢిల్లీ లిక్కర్ స్కామ్లో సిబిఐ ఈడీ కేసుల్లో బెయిల్ కోసం సుప్రీంను ఆశ్రయించారు కవిత బెయిల్ పిటిషన్పై జస్టిస్ బిఆర్ గవాయ్, జస్టిస్ విశ్వనాథన్ ధర్మాసనం విచారణ జరుపుతోంది. లైవ్ ద్వారా చూద్దాం.
Problems that our judicial officers are facing in terms of withdrawal, etc. Your Lordships had issued specific directions in para 85 and 86 of the judgment dated 4/1/24. Your Lordships will say that the High Courts will make that compliant, because your Lordships have directed them to have standard operating procedures, put it on the website, say how well they can medical
paragraphs
85 and 86 below. Those directions, your Lordships will just reiterate.
High Court, the committees of judges in the High Courts, constituted in pursuance of the order dated 4 January 2024, shall in particular ensure that a standard operating procedure, as mandated in paragraphs 85 and 86 of the order, is duly put into place in any event by 30th September 2020.
You said that your Lordships will direct them to meet at least once a month or a fortnight.
The fourth, in order to resolve all pending issues in regard to the payment of pending issues pertaining to the grievances of the officers, any subsisting issues regarding the grievances of the officers in regard to the payment of allowances, we request the committees constituted by the High Courts to meet once every month so that the grievances are resolved expeditiously. I think we'll say once every month.
My lord,
filed an application seeking your Lordship's permission to recommend to the government for increasing the retirement age to 61.
Should we get into that? You can always do that, but you require us to give you liberty.
Because of the
What will happen is, as far as Telangana is concerned, its retirement age to 61. One minute. The government employees' age was increased from 60 to 61 in Telangana. So the High Court sat with the government, and the government put an application before your Lordships and saying that the judicial officer in Telangana. But that was with the concurrence of the government. The High Court, the judicial officers, and the government was at dialogue, because and your Lordship also agreed to it immediately.
I remember that order.
Although this commission had said that it's not going to recommend any increase in retirement age,
Because the government was willing to do it.
Now there seems to be some concern for the state government.
My lords, can I just take a minute to point out for this?
They have also increased it for their employees from 60 to 61
In
Andhra. Question is whether that increase also must, the benefit of the increase must also be given to judicial officers. There are two reasons why it ideally should be. One, at the district judge cadre, we are now facing an extreme crunch. We don't get enough officers every year for recruitment across. Your Lordships knows that. Two, all the special courts that the different statutes mandate are all district judges. POCSO, CBI, politicians' courts, MPs, MLAs courts are all manned by district judges. So it is something that will actually benefit the system if we increase the retirement age by a year.
There's no reason why the High Court should not take it up with us.
So the High Court agrees with it. The question is whether the state will now agree with it. Your Lordship.
My lords, we have no problem.
The state requested us to send a recommendation.
My lords, if I may explain what has happened. The state had carried out an amendment and increased from 60 to 62. That was set aside by the Honorable High Court in light of my lord's judgment. My lords, therefore, now, as of now, the age is 60. If my lord, for the retirement of judicial officers. My lords, if my lords consider the application of the High Court may approach us and we will consider it in due course. My lords, it is a policy decision and a legislative amendment which must be carried out.
The High Court
You are appealing for the High Court?
Yes.
But why did we set aside the decision of the government to increase it from 60 to
60 to 62.
That's for the civil service, not for the judicial officer.
No, my lords, no. For judicial officers, it was increased from 60 to 62. With an order dated 16/9/22.